G'day from Rootstech 2013. In the past couple of years when I've been at Rootstech, I've been just about the lone Aussie, but I'm really excited this year because quite a number of other Aussies have made the long trip from the land down under, including an Australian vendor, Alan Phillips, who's with me here today, has a stand at the conference. As well, Alona Tester works for Genealogy, one of the genealogy companies that Alan has an interest in Australia. And so I thought I'd invite them along here today to tell us a bit about their companies, what their companies do, and about the Geniaus cruises they organise. So, Alan, what brings you to Rootstech?
I came to Rootstech initially to network. We have business connections with a number of people here, and the intention was to develop these, but also sound out other business contacts and networking opportunities.
So tell us a bit about your companies. You're representing Unlock the Past here at Rootstech. What does Unlock the Past do?
Well, Unlock the Past is a more recent development of from Gould Genealogy. So it's a Gould brand. We do a number of things, and it's probably shifted a little in the last year or two. Initially, the intention was to develop a support site to do things that were not otherwise done by the societies or other individuals. For instance, we maintain a national directory of events, and anyone can contribute to that free. And we've probably listed about 1,500 events over the last 2 or 3 years. We maintain an online directory of products and service suppliers, societies, libraries, museums, and again, anyone can register on that free. And they're categorised, and there's probably about 1,800 organisations or individuals or businesses represented. We've also done unique events, expos, road shows, bringing international speakers here to Australia.
Yes. I think Paul Milner was your most recent
Paul
visitor.
Milner. Yeah. And more recently we developed a publishing imprint under Unlock the Past, publishing basic guidebooks. The unique events we've had have varied from expos through to the first ever battlefield tour of Australia, through to the genealogy cruises. And it's the genealogy cruises that we're focusing on more from here on.
Okay. So you cover quite the wide gamut. We'll come back to the genealogy cruises in a moment. I know that there's another arm to your company. The first arm, actually, your initial business, was Gould Genealogy. Now, I might just ask Alona a little bit about Gould, if I can, because Alona's there on the ground working for Gould. Alona, what do you actually do at Gould, and what do Gould do?
Gould Genealogy is a retail and web store. So people who are wanting to buy genealogy products from anywhere, but they can come to our shop, they can buy through our website, www.gould.com.au. We have about 10,000 products on our website.
So these include
software, charts, how-to books, reference guides, CD-ROMs with data on them. Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
So, Alan, would your business be unique in Australia?
It pretty much is. There are other resellers, but Gould has been the principal reseller. Most of the other resellers are societies with bookshops.
Yes.
And the other ventures we've had, which are more than just Unlock the Past, I think are pretty much totally unique.
I have to admit that I know about Unlock the Past, but perhaps the people who will watch this video don't know much about Unlock the Past. And I had the pleasure recently of travelling on the Unlock the Past cruise to Noumea and potentially Fiji. I had a wonderful time on the Genealogy cruise. So I was wondering if you could tell us a bit about what you might have planned for Genealogy cruises, maybe next year, the year after.
Well, we've done 3 cruises to date. Our cruises are full-on conferences at sea, slightly different from some of the other cruises, which are perhaps a bit more leisurely program. But the cruisers can choose the level of involvement they want. So the next cruise is set and open for booking is out of Sydney to Melbourne, Adelaide, Hobart for 2 days and back to Sydney. That's in February 2014. That's our 4th cruise. It's a 9-night, 8-day cruise, 4 days at sea, which are largely conference days, and 4 days in port, which we don't program against any of the port time. We'll have probably about 15 presenters. The 2 lead presenters are Chris Payton from Scotland, who's a Scottish and Irish expert.
I've heard him, he's wonderful.
Thomas McKenty, who's pretty well known in the country I'm in now in the United States.
For sure.
But not so well in Australia, apart from the social media scene. So they'll be the lead presenters. 2 other featured presenters for the first time will be a military historian, Neil Smith, and a writing specialist, Dr. Noeline Kyle. They'll be supported by a team of other speakers, including you, Jill, other regular speakers and some other new speakers that will be seen for the first time. The program will consist of about 60 plus about 60 odd topics. Some of them will be in parallel sessions, electives, but there'll be 40 sessions programmed, and other features will be programmed around that.
Now, Alona doesn't fit the mould of a genealogist. So I'm going to ask her a few questions about why she came to Rootstech, and then we'll move on to Genia Cruising. Alona, why did you come to Rootstech?
Why did I come to Rootstech? Because it was, I know so many people. I'm heavily into the social media scene.
So what's your blog?
My blog is lonetester.com, and I wanted to come to actually network, well, to just see what was happening. And have fun.
And how has it been so far? You're only up to day 1?
Oh yeah, partway through day 1, and it's been a ball. It's been a ball, and everybody's been wonderful. Everyone's loving meeting up with people that they know through social media. So
it's a real buzz.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. Now, getting on to Genia Cruising, you're young. Most of the people who go on the cruises are my age, even older. There was a 93-year-old on our last cruise.
There was.
What benefits do you get from going on a cruise such as the ones that Unlock the Past?
I actually, because I work, I actually took it kind of as a holiday, as an opportunity to actually go and listen to all the talks. So for me it was a ball. And I learned so much.
You learned a lot?
I did. Yeah, I learned a lot. No, it was really good, because if I do tend to go to an event, because I work for a business, I'm exhibiting, I don't get to hear the speakers. So, just sitting in, listening, talking with other genealogists there, it was fun.
It was perfect, because I was talking to Alec Tritton this morning about his conference in the UK that's coming up, and it's a residential conference, and I compared it with the cruise, because not only are you seeing the people in a lecture, but that you're there all day with them. There's so many opportunities on your cruises for networking, aren't there?
Yeah. You actually get to make new friends through the genealogy cruises through the context, the contact you make.
Yeah.
No, it's been fun.
So is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your involvement with genealogy?
Can I mention the 2015
You
cruiser?
certainly can. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Alan.
That's fine. We've got an eye to the 2015 cruise. We can't announce a schedule because no cruise schedules are announced by the cruise lines yet. But based on current offerings, we're planning to do a cruise out of Britain, probably out of Britain, possibly Amsterdam, through to the Baltic. And that'll touch on southern Scandinavia and northern Europe, and that'll probably be something like a 12-day cruise, which will again have 5 days conferencing at sea, 4 days conferencing at sea.
So will you take advantage of being up in the Northern Hemisphere as far as speakers go?
Oh yes, our principal speakers will be drawn from the Northern Hemisphere. Britain, Ireland. We hope to get some speakers from Europe and Scandinavia. We've got someone in mind from Scandinavia, and also from North America. We've had expressions of interest from candidate speakers, from probably about 15 to 20 from the Northern Hemisphere, and also some from Australia and New Zealand now.
Sounds exciting.
It'll be very much an international program. We have expressions of interest that would suggest we might be looking at upwards of 300 from Australia and New Zealand alone.
That's fantastic.
Now, time will tell whether that's...
comes
But it's
off.
very, very strong interest.
That's amazing.
And because of the level of interest from both cruisers and candidate presenters, we're now looking at a 2016 cruise out of Britain, possibly to the Mediterranean, or out of Europe to the Mediterranean.
Fantastic.
And
That's great.
And we may, and this is just early thinking, we may look at short regional cruises out of Australia in between.
Okay, so someone from up here came down to Australia, they could combine a sightseeing tour, finish off with a little junior cruise, as I call it, out of Sydney or Melbourne or whatever. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Now, Alan, if people want to see you at the conference, you've got a booth.
We've got a booth, Unlock the Past, on, I don't know which direction it is, but on the first aisle, the nearest aisle to the...
They can look it up. And if they're too, don't want to, or they're not at the conference and want to see you, they can contact you via your website, unlockthepast.com.au.
Yes. Yeah, www.unlockthepast.com.au.
Okay, that's terrific. Well, thank you, Alan, and thank you, Alona, for telling us a bit about your companies and why you're at Rootstech.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.